There are literally millions of books available online, but which of those are available for free on common platforms such as YouTube and are also good enough to be worth your time? This is what I'm gonna be covering in this video, so let's get started. Now, it is important to mention that even though nowadays almost any book is available as an audiobook version as well, most of them you have to pay for. Of course, that doesn't really come as a surprise, and there are many great platforms that you can choose from that offer those paid audiobooks. But what I want to focus on in this video right here are audiobooks that are available for free, but in a legal way. So you don't have to feel bad about using them entirely for free, you just have to know where to look. But lucky for you, you don't have to look very far, because one of the best platforms to find free audiobooks is actually YouTube. Here you can find thousands and thousands of great books that are available for free and legally, because YouTube would otherwise take them down. And most of those books are of course public domain books, meaning that they don't have any copyright anymore, which makes them fair use. I myself have either read or listened to a lot of those books, so I want to give you a quick list that you can use as orientation if you want to find the very best freely available audiobooks here. The first one being 1984. 1984 obviously is an absolute classic when it comes to world literature, written by George Orwell, and some may say it is more relevant than ever nowadays. It paints the picture of a dystopian future where the state controls everything, they see everything, they surveillance everything, and there are very few people left that are willing to resist that kind of totalitarianism. It is an absolute must-read in my opinion. It is a book that is regularly listed as one of the greatest books of all times, and better yet, you can find it entirely for free here on YouTube. I will put a link down below in the description so you can easily find it there. And if you're already scrolling down there, why not leave a like for this video to support my channel, and make sure to subscribe to get more videos just like this one in the future. The next free book that you can easily listen to is called The Great Gatsby. Once again, one of the all-time greats, and actually listed by many authors and other writers as their favorite book of all times. The Great Gatsby paints a beautiful picture of the world in the 1920s. But just like any beautiful picture, this one also has a dark side to it. And seeing that dark part of the story unravel is really what makes the story so captivating. Of course, since the movie The Great Gatsby, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, came out, a lot more people are already familiar with the entirety of the story, but I highly recommend that you still go and listen to the audiobook, because listening to the original is actually quite different from watching the movie, where a lot of the emotions were created by the stimulating visuals. The book manages to be just as captivating as the movie, but only through the power of words. The next book on our list of free books to listen to is Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis. This book, of course, is a weird one. I think the story itself may be the weirdest in all of world literature. I mean, it's the story of a guy who overnight turns into a giant bug. It's literally the story of a metamorphosis. So what do you make of that? Well, of course, there's a lot of ways to interpret this story, and I don't want to bore you with all the details. I'd rather have you check it out yourself and make up your own mind. But it is a story that I think anyone who reads it will be intrigued with and will be irritated by, which of course is exactly what Kafka wanted. He wants you to feel strange and awkward about what you're reading and what he is describing to you. So don't feel intimidated by those feelings, rather take them for what they are. They are exactly what the author intended. Metamorphosis is a rather short story. You can listen to it in a little bit over 2 hours, and you can find it here on YouTube. I put the link down in the description below. The next book on this list of free books to listen to, book number 4, is simply called Ikigai. Now, this book is slightly different than the previous 3 books in the way that it is, first of all, not a public domain book, and secondly, it is a non-fiction book. It discusses the Japanese concept of Ikigai, which basically means finding balance in your life. And what I mean by balance in this case is a balance between your passion, your mission, your vocation, and your profession. All of that taken together is Ikigai. But the book Ikigai doesn't only focus on your career and profession, as you might maybe think if you hear this description of Ikigai. Instead, it takes a much more holistic approach. It looks at your health, it looks at your friendships and social life, it looks at happiness, and it also gives advice on how to find peace of mind. So if you ever felt like you lack balance in life and you want to make things click a little bit better together, then maybe Ikigai is just the right book for you. Once again, I have a link to it in the description below. And the last book on our list is book number 5, which is called Brave New World. Brave New World, a book written by Aldous Huxley, is in many ways comparable to 1984. Just like 1984, it describes a dystopian future. But unlike 1984, it actually describes a society where people are deemed to be happy and everything is optimized for their well-being to a certain extent. The population even gets to take a special drug that will bring them happiness whenever they need it. So in theory, everything is great in the society until things take an unexpected turn. A savage who was not born and raised in this optimized and sterilized society is brought into it from the outside and starts questioning the very core beliefs that this modern society is built on. It's a fascinating read and it makes you question a lot of the things that we hold true nowadays in our societies. So I highly suggest that you check out the book for yourself. Once again, you find the link down in the description. Now, of course, those 5 books that I just shared here with you today are only my personal opinion. Those are the books that I would recommend you get started with if you want to listen to books for free. But of course, this is only the tip of the iceberg. There are literally thousands of books available, and not only on YouTube. As a matter of fact, you can use Spotify and a bunch of other platforms for this purpose of finding free books to listen to. And as a matter of fact, I made several videos about that in the past. I will link them right up here, and if you're interested to learn more about those platforms where you can find free audiobooks, unlimited almost, check out any of those videos right here. For now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in those other videos.